All right, welcome. One of the things we look for when we look at these ancient civilizations is their impact on us. And a lot of the things that are impacts on about the Romans to us today is they passed down Greek culture to us. Yes, and they passed down the representative form of democracy that we use today in the United States. They also passed down Greek architecture. They also passed down literary forms, and even the way we view history has been impacted by the Romans themselves. Um, but one of the things that is kind of like a shadow side effect is we have a dual numeral system. Now, most of the numerals we use are what we call Arabic numerals. Arabic numerals are your what we would call normal numbers: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and of course, then we have place values. So 10 it'd be a 1, 0, 1, 1, etc. You get the point. However, we don't always use Arabic numerals. By the way, they're Hindu Arabic numerals, but we shorten it to Arabic numerals. We get that from the Arabic part of the world during the Crusades. And the Crusades we haven't covered yet. So that ought to tell you, oh, wait, Mr. Sprague, how did the Romans write down things? They used a system called Roman numerals. And we're going to go over the basics of reading modern Roman numerals. Now, I do want to point this out. The Romans themselves actually had two systems. They had long form and short form Roman numerals. They would use long form for mathematics, and they would use short form for stonework. However, by the time we get to about the year 1000, that's about 500 years after the fall of the Roman Empire, the use of long form Roman numerals kind of fell out of vogue. And by the time you get to the Renaissance, another 400 years after that, in the 1400s, short form Roman numerals is the only one that you're seeing. Those are the ones we use today. And that's what I want to go over with you. I want to basically go over how to read basic Roman numerals today. All right. The Etruscans were the ones who came up with the basics of our current Roman numeral system. They were shepherds. And when they were out in the field, what do shepherds have to do? Well, one of the things they have to do is count sheep. That's kind of important. Today, that would probably put us to sleep. In fact, counting sheep in your mind is one of the things they tell you to help you go to sleep. However, back before Rome was even Rome, that was a life or death thing. If you began missing sheep, that meant something was coming into your herd and killing your animals. So, how did we handle this? Well, simply put, shepherds, what do they have with them? Well, they have a knife because that's handy dandy. They need a dagger or a knife. They might actually have a small sword with them to protect their sheep. They would have a bow and arrow, and they would have a walking staff. And so the walking staff, they would literally put marks into their staff to be able to count. The Roman symbol for one originally just started as a line. Now today we look at it as a capital letter I, but originally it was just a line. And if you think about it, these tally marks, it makes sense. These numbers that came into being are very simple for counting. They would be notched into the wood of the staff or the walking stick. Uh, Now, today, since we use two systems for numbers, Roman numerals are the ones we use less often. And so we're going to talk about how to convert Roman numerals to our Arabic system. First off, you have to understand that Roman numerals are written in 7 letters. I represents 1, V 5, X 10, L 50, C 100, D 500, NM1000. Now, the letters should be written as capital letters unless there's a reason to use lowercase letters, like, for example, if you're note taking or if you want to denote that a number is a subset under another set. As a general guide, Roman numerals are additive. So, for example, if you see the letter XI, X is 10, I is 1, you add those two together, 11. Now, there are exceptions to this. You do have subtractive values in the Roman numerals we use today, which are the short form. We use short form Roman numerals. So, for example, if you see IX, I is 1 and X is 10. Well, if you see a number written in front of a larger number, it is subtractive. So 1 minus 10. Okay, 10 minus 1. And you go the other direction, basically, with your math. That would be the number 9. So xi is 11, but ix would be 9 because it's 10 minus 1. Whereas xi is 10 plus 1. There are only certain subtractive values. You have 9, 49, 40, but there are only certain ones you need to know. So here's some examples right here. We're going to take a look. VIII, V is a 5. I is 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. XIX. Now here's a little tricky one. XIX. Here you have 10 plus, but now we have a smaller number in front of a bigger number. So it's 10 minus 1. Well, what's 10 minus 1? 9. 10 plus 9 is going to equal 19. LX is going to equal 60, but XL, extra large, man, is only 40. Okay. And XC is going to equal 90. All right, so let's use another way of looking at this. I'm trying to go to the next page, and it's not letting me. That's odd. Oh, well, it's not that important. 7. Well, what would 7 be? Well, let's go ahead and work with 7. 7, we're going to write 7 in Arabic numerals. From Arabic numerals to Roman numerals. 7 would be VII, because that is 5 plus 1 plus 1. That equals 7. How about 12? How do we write the Arabic numeral 12? Well, it's the same thing. You would go X, that's 10, I, that's 1, I, 10 plus 1 plus 1 equals 12. All right. But over here, and it's not letting me move around the page, so this is Starting to get irritating. Okay, so let's look at 15, shall we? 15. 15. I apologize, guys. This is not working out the way I planned. 15. Why is it not working? Anyway, 15 would be XV. XV. And 20 would be XX. All right. So, can you convert these numbers to Roman numerals? I'm going to let you guys try to do this. Pause the video. I assumed you paused the video and you tried to figure out the answers on your own, and let's take a look at what they were. All right, so 17 is XVII, because that's 10 plus 5 plus 2, that's 17. 22 is XX11, or II, which is 22. 26 would be XXVI. 29 would be XXIX. This is a subtractive value. IX. 30 would be XXX. 32 would be XXXII. 35 would be XXV. 50 would be an L. So 40 is 10 off. That's XL. By the way, you won't see IL. IL is not 49. 49 is still XLIX. And the reason for that is you never do a subtractive value beyond the tens place before it. So, for example, you would not write 999 in Roman numerals as IM. Okay? I is -1, but the shortest letter, smallest letter you can have behind M is C. So you can write 900 as CM, and then 99 would be 99 would actually not be written as IC either. You can't do that. Instead, you got to go to the tens place. The tens would be XC, and then the ones place, which would be IX. So 999 is not IM. Instead, it is CM, and then it is XC, and then it is IX. And that's a bit confusing for a lot of people. So let me go back over that. 999. 999 would be scratch that, would be CM XCIX. That would be 999. Okay, let's move on. 70, 80. All right, pause the video, try to do those. Well, here's what we got. Here's your answers. LXX is 70, LXXX is 80. 83 is LXXIII. 88 would be LXXVIII. 89 would be LXXXIX. Okay, it would not be IXC. That's not the way it works. It'd be LXXXIX. 100 would be C, so 90 is XC. 120 would be CXX. 150 would be CL. 200 would be CC. 300 would be CCC. 500 is D, so you could go CD behind it. And write simply CD for 400. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, pause the video, see if you can figure these out. I'm assuming you paused the video, so here we go. 600 is DC. So DC is equal to 600 because the D is in front of the C. DCC is 700. DCC C is 800. 1000 is the letter M. So CM is 900. Okay. 999 is, again, as a reminder, CM XC IX. It would not, I want to emphasize, it is not IM. That is illegal in shorthand Roman numerals. Okay? You never go beyond 10 below or a tenth below. All right. MDC is 1600. All right. So MDC would be 1600 and MCD would be 1400. MDCC is 1700, MCM is 1900, MM is 2000. All right. So let's take a look at another 2010. That was a few years back, but we'll go with it. 2010 would be written as MMX. Now let's try to write today's date. All right. If we were going to write today's date in Roman numerals, by the way, when I'm making this video, it happens to be St. Patrick's Day. Yay, us. So I don't see green. We'll go with that color. That might be green. I might be off. Who knows? But what is today's date in Roman numerals? Well, March is written as 3. Well, how would we write 3? I. All right. Of course, the 17th is written as 17th. How would we write that? Well, we would go X, V, I. See that? Pretty good, huh? Now here's where it gets a little tricky. 2022. We would write that as M. So there's 2000. Now, there's no hundreds here. Okay. So we just skip that and we're down to 22. That's X, X, I. That's pretty simple. I'm going to go with one more. So coming up here we're going to do a new whiteboard. And we're going to take a look at a date that's kind of important to me personally. I'm not going to tell you why, but it is an important date in my life. And that would be I'm going to go wider. Why? Because I can. Okay, still that. And we're going to make it red. Okay, so here we go. August 24th, 1999. I think it was the 24th. I can't remember the exact day, but basically, that's when I became a teacher. That was the first day of school. And how would I write that in Roman numerals? Well, first we have 8. So that would be VIII. Okay. 24. Well, here we're going to have a subtractive value. We have XX to 20. And then we're going to do a letter I and a V. That would be the 24th. Now, 1999. Let me tell you what it's not first. It's not IMM. That is not right. Okay? No, 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 no. How do we write 1999? Well, we are going to write the letter M, 1000. Then we're going to make the number 900. That's CM. Okay? Now we got to do 99. 99 would not be IC. That's not right. Instead, we got to do 90 first, which is XC. Okay, that gets us to 99, to 90. Now we need 9. And then that would be IX. So that would basically be your 1999. That's a tough date to write, but that is correct. It would be VIII XXIV MCM XCIX. That's round about the first day I started teaching, and that's why it's an important date to me. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Roman unit. Good luck on your quizzes, worksheet, and test you will have the first week we get back from spring break. And I want you guys to have a wonderful spring break. You guys take care.